So part of obtaining a loan is going through the underwriting process. And today we're here with Kaili McCool with Preferred Rate, and she is going to dissect what underwriting is.
So underwriting is the super fun part of the loan that all of my clients enjoy. It's really not that bad, but they're basically our walking, talking guidelines. So you submit paperwork to the underwriter with the loan file, and the underwriter will review the paperwork. If they have any questions, they'll then send us a list to go back to the customer and say, okay, now we need an updated bank statement, or we need an explanation on this thing that happened over here. So we'll basically go back and forth with the underwriter until they have no more questions, and that's when you get the full stamp of approval and what we call a clear to close. So sometimes it can feel like a grueling process, like you're going back and forth a bunch of times, but I promise it's extremely normal. If I get one that the underwriter didn't have questions on, it is extremely rare and a huge win for us, but definitely not the norm. So don't be discouraged if your underwriter wants a few more things from you. They're just doing their due diligence to make sure that it's a good loan we're writing. And you also have to remember that we have, investors on these loans. And so some of these requirements are investor guidelines. So we have to make sure that once the loan closes, we have everything that the investor needs. So it's not that bad. And if you ever have any questions of why something's needed, feel free to ask your loan officer and we'd love to tell you.
I mean, that's pretty much it in a nutshell. So yeah, I mean, I, as an agent, get the question all the time. They're like, oh my gosh, I need one more thing. But yeah, I've found that most loans go in and out of underwriting a couple times with the questions and, hey, I need this to prove this, and then it'll go back into underwriting. So it is probably the most time consuming part of it to me. Like, I feel like it's just, you're constantly in underwriting until you get your clear to close. So that includes when you get your appraisal back. The appraisal goes to the underwriter and they've got to review it. So until
we're not only approving the borrower, we're also approving the property. So us as the lender, you might be bringing $10,000 to the closing table for down payment, but we are giving $200,000 for the property. So we have to make sure that it's a sound investment for us. So make sure that the property is all good to go, no questions. And then also we want to make sure that the buyer, has the ability to repay the loan, and we're not going to have any issues with payments not being made. So sometimes feels like a long process, but I promise, usually 30 days is all it takes, and we can get you to the closing table.
Yeah. And it's usually worth it in the end. So if you have any questions about obtaining a loan or getting approved, definitely reach out to one of us, and we will, if you reach out to me, I'll send you to her. So definitely get a hold of us and we'll get you started.